Hello, everyone, and welcome to Super Podcast Action Committee, episode 163. Andrew Eisen here, along with Zachary Knight. Hello, Zachary.
Hello, everybody.
Now, I must make a confession. I am's on call, so I may have to leave Zachary all by his lonesome occasionally if I get a call, but hopefully it's quiet.
Hopefully.
Protoman says he wanted to watch the Twitch stream, but Twitch streams are in general not kind to him. You know what? The Twitch stream was in general not kind to me earlier today either, or any of the people trying to watch. It was funny. My sister watched this afternoon, and she tries to watch, and sometimes the video just flat out won't load. My mom has the same problem, and on their end, everything was coming through, but if I couldn't get the game's sound to come through, I couldn't get my voice to come through, or my voice would come in twice but offset, so you'd have this irritating echo. Oh, it was an obnoxious nightmare for about 35 minutes. And so we didn't get to see as much of the game as I really would have liked. I was thinking maybe I'll be able to plow all the way through Chapter 1. Nope. Got maybe 40% of the way through Chapter 1. Which is the opening, kind of the tutorial section of the game. But while it takes several hours, I feel it's one of the best tutorial sections in most games, because while there's press the control stick to move, there's a lot of that. It does a very nice job of leading you around and showing you where everything is and all the different kind of things that you can do. I mean, the text prompts that say push the control stick to move Jimmy, little on the nose, but that's okay. And it does a thing where it introduces elements of the HUD one at a time. For example, in the very beginning of the game, you don't have the clock. Time is just kind of frozen until you figure out some other things first. But Protoman, who won one of the Steam downloads that we gave away for Read-Only Memories last week, says, I've been playing it quite a bit. It's pretty neat. Got to Chapter 4 so far. Yeah, I haven't played it since last week, but hopefully I'll find the time to go through it, because I did think it was pretty neat. It's I hope it gets a little bit more game-y, because I think in the 2 hours we played on the stream, there was like one puzzle. Pick up the SD card off the floor and stick it in the tablet. That was the only puzzle. So hopefully there are more puzzles than that, but if not, it does pretty handily coast by on its story and its characters and its charm. So Read-Only Memories, check it out. And we're also trying something at Game Politics, a Game Politics Plays feature. We'll see how that. So I played Read-Only Memories last week, played Bully this week. It's one of the most controversial games of the last 10 years. Needlessly controversial, but still one of the most controversial games of the last 10 years. So we'll see how that catches on. If you guys enjoy it, maybe I'll get better at actually streaming. Hey, Matthew, good to see you.
Yeah, and maybe I'll get around to actually streaming something too.
Sure.
Other games out there that have seen some interesting buzz around them, like Hotline Miami got a lot of praise. I don't think there was much controversy over that one, except for the sequel had some controversy.
It was either the first one or the second one that had a scene of a woman being raped, and then the camera pans out, and it was part of a movie being filmed.
That was the second one.
Yeah.
Let's see what else.
Hatred would be
Binding of Isaac. Hatred.
Yeah, the games that make the news.
And then there's political games out there too.
Especially next year, I think that we usually there is a slew of political games that might be fun to take a look at. The only problem is that some of the games that are kind of banned on Twitch. Hatred, I think, is banned. Honey Pop is banned. Shower Dad Shower Simulator, or is that no, it's the other one, the one we talked about a week or two ago. That's banned. So
Yeah.
Protoman says read-only memories. Unfortunately, doesn't. It's just mostly text-based. That's a shame, but it is still pretty neat if you do like story-centric games. So, Boy is only controversial because Nintendo refused to allow the first one on 3DS. What is
Binding of
Boy?
Isaac.
Oh, sorry. Boy?
Well, Binding of Isaac had some controversy because of its overt anti-religious themes. So,
I guess. I mean, it's. I don't know if it's necessarily
kind of
anti.
dumb.
Well, I guess it is in
Yeah.
some respects because it is seriously poking fun at some of the biblical stories. It paints particular biblical stories in a rather unflattering light, let's say. So, yeah. And Nintendo was goofy to originally disallow that one game. It's like one of the only games that did that with in recent times, anyway. But now they're saying, yeah, okay. Completely not related to anything, but I was pining away this afternoon for the Yakuza games because that's what I do. I pine. Although I have to consider us North America lucky because we have most of them. We did get Yakuza 1 and 2 dub only, but oh well, they're on the PS2 and they cost about $150 if you want one now, but they are there. We've got 3 and 4. We've got Dead Souls, I think it's called, and 5 should be out next month. So we got most of them. That's not too bad. And we still don't have 1 and 2 HD edition, but we do kind of have 1 and 2 if you're willing to pay for them. There's also Yakuza 0, which was a prequel set in the 80s, which sounds really cool. That's at least not been announced yet. There's Yakuza, I don't know what it's called, but it takes place in the Edo era Japan, so it's all samurai and geisha and swords and stuff. It's really, really cool. And then 6 is coming out soon. No announcement on that, and there's a remake of the first one. But I was watching a trailer for the Yakuza Restoration, I think is what I've seen some English titles for it, and the one that takes place in Edo era Japan, in the Shogun era or Samurai era. And I was watching the trailer for it, and I was thinking, how is this series not hugely popular in America? I'm watching the trailer, I'm thinking, man, put this in, with the exception of all the Japanese writing on the screen, the Japanese narration explaining what's going on, I think North America would eat this stuff up. This is insanely cool. You get into fist fights with a sword, and he pulls out a pistol and shoots people. You get to play rock, paper, scissors with a geisha. You get to pull daikon radishes out of your garden. You get to sing. You get to do a fan dance. How would people? This is awesome. Go watch the damn trailer and not be excited for it. I dare you. This looks like something that would be. I don't know. I imagine someone in Sega is going. I just don't know how to sell this. I'm like, dude, it sells itself. It's great. Yakuza is Grand Theft Auto. It really is. It's Grand Theft Auto, except instead there's no cars. It's a brawler instead of a shooter.
Yeah.
With the exception of Dead Souls, which is a zombie shooter. But and you may say, well, the Grand Theft Auto takes place in this humongous area, and Yakuza takes place in a much smaller area. Yeah, you don't drive anywhere; you're on foot. So San Andreas or GTA 5 would suck if you couldn't get in a car or a plane.
Yeah, I bet.
It takes 15, 20 minutes to walk across the entire map. But anyway, Sega, I know you watch our show. Bring us all of the Yakuza. Seriously, I think if they bothered trying to market this thing, I have a hard time believing that this wouldn't go over unless Americans generally are just, oh, it's all Japanese, ew. I don't mean just dialogue, I mean culturally. Oh, it takes place in Japan and stars Japanese people. I I don't know. Anime is pretty popular, so that doesn't seem to be a stumbling block for me. That wouldn't seem to be a stumbling block for that series, but luckily we do have most of them. It's just it takes we usually get them 3 or 4 years later. To be fair, there's a ton of crap to translate in that game. So anyway, now that that's out of my system, I've not played anything other than I played Bully earlier today. Other than that, I've been working. So, what you been doing this week?
Well, yesterday and today we had yard sale, which was fun. We made about $200, so it's not too bad. But I didn't get any time to really play anything this week. But I did finish a book that I'd been reading the last couple of weeks. I read a while back. I bought a Humble ebook bundle, and it had Old Man's War by John Scalzi in it, and I really enjoyed it. And so I decided to check out some of his other books, and I picked out a book at the library called Android's Dream. And it's a book about a sheep, so if anybody's wondering. And yes, in the first chapter of the book, they do he does hat tip do Android's Dream of Electric Sheep in the actual narrative, so that was really cool. But it's a really interesting book. It's a sci-fi political thriller that actually takes place in a future Earth that is part of an intergalactic confederation, with a bunch of other alien species and stuff. So it's really, really cool. And the main rub of the book, or the main storyline of the book, is that there's a race of aliens called the Naidu, which are like some kind of lizard type alien thing, and they're what is going on with them is that they're going to have, or their ruler just died, and so it's time for them to for the heir to take over. But they have this this tradition in place that if the heir can't perform the rituals necessary to take over the throne, then the throne goes wide open to any clan that wants to take over. And so there's this one specific clan that is trying to manipulate events to make sure that the heir to the heir to the throne can't actually perform the ceremonies and rituals in order to do it. And then they wrote Earth in, because Earth is the Naidu's closest allies. Or I should say it's the other way around. The Naidu are Earth's closest allies, because Earth is kind of low on the totem pole, because Earth at the time, in this story, is still relatively low tech compared to other races, other species and stuff around the galaxy. And so the story is about a man who's hired by Earth's chief ambassadors, or head of Secretary of State, I guess, in order to find this sheep that the Naidu need. And then the conspiracy and everything kind of explodes, and you get all kinds of nice fights and battles and cool stuff like that. But it's mostly a political thriller, which is really interesting. And you don't get to read too many political thrillers that are based on future sci-fi stuff. So that's really cool. So I really like John Scalzi's work. I need to finish off his Old Man's War trilogy, but haven't gotten around to doing that yet. The library didn't have those books, which made me sad. So I'll probably end up buying them anyways.
Oh, all right. So we're gonna recommendation in the chat for Psychopaths. Oh, it's on Netflix.
Psychopaths.
Oh crap! I don't have Netflix right now. I'll have to get it.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, I'll have to get Netflix eventually, because Jessica Jones comes out next month. So
Yeah, and speaking of Netflix, I got to watch Trimmers 5
Oh,
yesterday.
I bought the DVD. So
Oh,
how's
did
that?
you?
Yeah,
Oh, it's great. It's
is it
actually yeah,
great?
it's actually really good. It had everybody was just like, everybody was it has Jamie Kennedy in it. Do we really want to watch something with Jamie Kennedy in it?
No, you don't. But it's
And
Tremors. So.
not really, but he's actually a pretty good character in the show or in the movie. So, but it's definitely it's still not as good as the first Trimmers, but I think it tops the four sequels. Uh, in just action and comedy and all that stuff. I think it plays out really well.
I look forward
So
to
I,
watching
I
it.
enjoyed it. Not it's not really a spoiler, but they do end up fighting a new breed of trimmers.
Well, they do in every.
Yeah, it's
every
kind of
one.
like the difference between there's Asian elephants and African elephants,
Mhm.
and Siberian tigers and Bengal tigers. That sort of difference. But basically, the African version of the graboids and everything are basically they're bigger and scarier and stuff. And so they play it out really well, and I think this one is one of the best. It's the best sequel out of all of them.
Cool. I
Yeah.
look forward to watching that. I'm actually trying to find the name of a anime that I did see a few episodes of this week. That crap. All right. Hold on a second. I must know. Uh, eh. Hang on. Almost there. Google, don't fail me now. So I've talked before about how the hell is the name of this stupid series? Um, uh, she Shimoneta or something like that. Um, so I've spoken before about Monster Musume, which is a harem anime where, Shimoneta, where it's a harem anime where the women are monsters. So there's a centaur and a mermaid and a spider woman and a slime woman and a snake woman, and it's a dirty, naughty comedy, and it's supposed to be sexy fun, and it completely fails at that. In my opinion, to me, it just comes off as gross and stupid. Uh, I watched the whole thing though because, damn it, the world is so interesting, and it has so much potential, and all of it is squandered for boobs, which that plays for some people, but for me, that I just find that kind of frustrating because they have in this world, monsters are they're trying to integrate monsters into society, and they've got laws that haven't quite caught up with that yet, kind of like technology, and our laws haven't quite caught up with the technology is evolving faster than the laws. So they have this law in books where humans can't hurt non-humans. Well, that kind of means that non-humans can go rob banks, and there's not much you can do about it because you're not allowed to lay a finger on them because you'd cause a national or international incident. So what happens when a pack of monster peoples knock over a bank? Well, they send in the monster squad. Essentially, it's a specialist team of a cyclops, a zombie, a ghost girl. And I'm like,
Interesting.
oh my god, that I want the show about this. That sounds amazing. And it's half of an episode. It's like one scene in one episode, and they do bring him back, but it's like, oh, let's each individually go on a date with the one lead character and constantly fall and stuff our boobs in his face. It's like, really? There's so much cool stuff, and some of the designs, while a bit too boob-y, are really neat. The Spider-Woman design is mostly really, really cool. It's just got some really neat ideas.
Yeah.
For instance, the Snake Woman, which is essentially a Gorgon just without the snakes in her hair.
Well, it's a Lamia, I think.
A Lamia, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I'm being a bit too Dungeons and Dragony, but that's not exactly Lamia. But she wears a skirt. And it never really thought about it, but yeah, she totally would wear she wears this like jean skirt because she's got essentially just one long leg. It's her tail. And it's just such an interesting design. And of course, they go a little bit too far and make it stupid. But it's a really frustrating show because I thought it had a lot of potential and it just squanders it for the cheap 10-year-old humor. 10-year-old, I just discovered puberty humor. This other show, Shimoneta, which is subtitled A Boring World Where the Concept of Dirty Jokes Don't Exist, takes place in a world where it's kind of like Fahrenheit 451, only they've scrubbed all pornography from the world, and they've put kind of a cross between Fahrenheit 451 and Demolition Man. Because every time you say a naughty word, it's like, you've been fined 1 credit to get for the moralities. It's kind of that world. So no one swears, no one has any dirty thoughts, no one's seen porn. So you have a high school full of children who just hit, or a high school full of hormonal adolescents who have absolutely no idea how to outlet their growing up and their hormones and their feelings. That they don't know what to do with it, and they have absolutely no concept of it, which is an interesting premise. So the idea is there's a smut terrorist who runs around passing out pornography and screaming dirty words, and like, oh my gosh, what did they say? And so she descends upon a school assembly and shows them a video of like crickets mating or something like that. And all the kids are like, I feel funny. And this show is incredibly dirty. It really is. I mean, it gets filthy, but it's actually, unlike, in my opinion again, unlike Monster Musume, this one's actually funny if you have a dirty mind. So I've only seen a few episodes of it, but this one actually, I think, works a lot better. Because it doesn't focus on boobs and nothing else. And boobs are great. Love them. But, need more than just boobs.
Yeah.
So, anyway, not one for the kids. It is definitely a very dirty show. But I did learn a new obscene gesture from it, so that's something. I don't think it's not obscene in our country, but apparently in Japan it's obscene enough that they need to censor that.
Yeah.
But there's some bodily fluids that in this show that they didn't feel the need to censor. But this hand gesture they need to censor. So Japan's kind of weird sometimes,
Yeah.
So anyway, anime. I like anime. Or actually, I like good anime. Someone asked me that earlier this week. Do you like anime?
Oh. Have you ever seen No Game, No Life?
I think so. Is that the one where the brother and sister go into like an alternate reality where there's everything's a game?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I saw about 5 episodes of that, and I found the art style actually really hard on the eyes. They do like a red outline on everything. The show is almost like looking into a lens flare the entire time. It's for some reason I found it kind of hard on the eyes, but I enjoyed what I saw. Didn't see the whole thing though.
Yeah, because I watched some of that, and it's a very interesting show. That brother and sister have a very awkward relationship.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I get the whole, oh, we're looking up her skirt. Naughty, naughty. She's 8.
Yeah.
And someone in the chat's going to correct me. She's 12. Oh, that's better. Uh, yeah, so it's a
Yeah.
cartoon. It's fine, but it didn't bother me as much decades ago. But after decades of consuming anime, I just get tired of it after a while. I guess when I first saw it, it was new and novel. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm looking at the panty-clad crotch of a 12-year-old. Huh. Japan is weird.
Yeah.
So, but today I'm like, this again. Yep. Anyway, someone's recommending Gate. Yeah, a lot of people are recommending Gate. I need to watch that. Apparently, there's a gate and dragons come through it, and dragons are cool. So
Interesting.
yeah.
I don't know. I'm looking forward to the inevitable announcement of the Justice League animated series that's supposed to be coming out at some time in the future.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Because there was a picture that was released of a bunch of posters along the wall, I guess in Warner's, some lobby of Warner's or something, and it had a bunch of shows, cartoon shows that everybody knew about, and then there was this one for Justice League, and everybody's like, "Is that a Justice League cartoon they're working on?" And then somebody official finally they finally said, "Yep, the show's coming, or we're working on a Justice League show." But
if you don't want us to know about it, don't hang it on your wall.
Yeah. But yeah, no details or anything.
Did you see the superhero high school girls? It has Wonder Woman and Poison Ivy in high school. And Amanda Waller's the president or principal.
Principal. I've seen pictures, images and pictures of the dolls that are coming out for it. And
the dolls are cool.
Yeah, but I haven't seen any. I don't think they've released any footage or a trailer.
They've released. I don't know if it's a half-hour episode or if they're going to be like 3-minute episodes or 7-minute episodes. I saw one 3-minute episode or 2 3-minute episodes, and sorry, Reed got distracted by the chat. So I like the design. I like the character design.
Yeah.
It's very cute and cuddly and colorful. I think it's a great design. The show is not for me, and it's not aimed at me, so that's okay. They're skewing a lot younger.
Aimed at the like the Monster High crowd, I think.
Yeah, it's single-digit ages. It doesn't look like it's going to be. I'm guessing slice of life type stuff. I don't think it doesn't look like it's going to be a overarching narrative. It's not going to tell a story. It's just going to be the characters goofing around, which is fine. And it was charming in its own way, but it was just a bit too childish for my taste. And I like a lot of childish stuff. You'll see a lot of it back there.
But speaking of shows, have you seen the Vixen shorts? DC did a Vixen short, and it takes place in the world of Arrow and Flash, the CW cartoons. But they released 6 like 5-minute episodes, and it's really good. But the thing that bothers me is it's either why are they not making this an actual show? They could have another female-led TV show if they made a Vixen show. And it's not like it's going to be special effects heavy. It doesn't. I don't think it costs that much to overlay an animal.
Well, and plus she doesn't actually transform into anything. She
doesn't transform. It's just like you get this overlay of the animal's whose power she's using, and then it goes away while she uses the power. It's like that's not going to cost more than the Flash's lightning bolts. They could make this an actual television show, but they decided they just wanted to do 30-minute show, a 30-minute cartoon. It's like, shoot, just make an actual cartoon of it, an actual cartoon series. That would work too, but I think it needs to be a live action show.
Yeah. Well, they announced they're doing a Hellfire Club series, which shocked the hell out of me.
Fox is doing that.
Yeah, and I'm like, and you're actually going to do it in the 60s? Oh man, go full soap opera with this. That would be
Oh yeah,
amazing. I
yeah,
don't believe for a minute they're going to do this right, but I would love to be wrong. We
yeah.
should probably stop geeking out about stupid stuff and let's get on with the show. All
All
right,
right,
so
fine.
uh, okay, we can get rid of Shimoneta here. Okay, poll. So this week I asked, are video game voice actors and performers going to strike? Little bit of background on this being that SAG-AFTRA, is it actually a union?
Yeah, it's a union.
Okay, so the union that looks over after voice performers and such have been renegotiating contracts with the video game industry, and they're like and can't seem to come to a agreement. SAG-AFTRA wants bonuses and stunt pay and stunt
Stunt coordinators.
coordinators on set when they're doing dangerous stuff and transparency in the audition process. And the game industry wants the ability to find the crap out of talent and their agents. So they're
Yeah, they want to be able to fine you for being late,
Mhm.
for being inattentive, and for not showing up to auditions they want you to show up to at.
Yeah.
It's like, what? You can't refuse an audition? That makes no sense. Actors should be allowed to refuse auditions. Yeah, that's a basic human right. It's like, but yeah, that's what the video game industry wants, a bunch of things that the actors don't want, and the actors want a bunch of things the video game industry doesn't want.
Yeah.
And they haven't come to agreement yet.
But as Rodney King said, can't we all just get along? And he was right. In that one single instance, Rodney King spoke a gem. So we had 42 people respond to this poll, which I think may be the lowest amount of people to participate in a poll ever. It was suggested.
Probably, yeah.
It was suggested that it was because this poll is more prediction, what is going to happen rather than an opinion. Like who is right? Who do you side with, SAG-AFTRA or the video game industry? I looked back at some of the polls, and that didn't seem to have that much of an effect. I think it's more along the lines of we're struggling to get out as much content as we want on the site, and also I think the poll's not as visible on the side. Maybe need to highlight it in red or something. So
Yeah, put a border, different color background or something on it. Yeah.
Yeah, sites are hard to run when you have no money, man. It's like tough because we all have to work full-time jobs and then find time to run.
That's true too. Or because no one cares that much.
Or because no one cares. That does happen occasionally. We'll write something that it just strikes a chord, and we get a bunch of people replying, and then I'll say, "Oh, hey, here's another one," and it's wow, okay, no one cares about this at all. So okay, our video game.
Apparently, this poll plugin is a little inaccurate because we've got 52% versus 50%. How do you get 102% out of this?
I don't know, but
I guess it's just the low number of votes and the fact that they're so close. Because it's 22 and 21.
Yeah,
so
lives aren't depending on. This is probably a weird rounding error, but lives aren't depending on these numbers. These are just for fun. So, are video game voice actors and performers going to strike? 22 people said yes, negotiations will continue to fail, leaving no other alternative. And 21 people said no, SAG-AFTRA and the video game industry will eventually reach some sort of compromise. So that's low, not a very big sample size, but about 50-50 on that one. Which I guess if you're trying to predict the future, it's either going to happen or it isn't. I think we Michael Pactored this poll.
Yeah,
I don't even know what that means.
Well, we could have thrown another option in there that Earth will go into global thermal nuclear war, and
before anything
happens, and
Yeah.
And there's no point.
Yeah. Protominence Viz, I didn't vote on this one. I'm not informed enough on the subject to make an educated choice. I heard from a few people who privately told me that, yeah, I didn't vote in the poll because I don't know, man. I don't know. It's just a poll, man. It's for fun, but I don't remember what I voted. So I think I said no. I think they'll reach some sort of compromise. I'm just not. I have no justification for this other than I'm not feeling it. The actors, no, I'm sorry, writers' strike that happened a few years ago, that caused a damn mess, and I don't think anyone wants that again. So I think everyone will try their damnedest to avoid this, because not only is it going to be a pain in the ass as far as the working relationship, but it's just really bad publicity for both. It makes the video game industry look like bullies. It makes the actors, in some eyes, mind you, look like greedy, whiny poop heads. Oh, you want more than the developer who's spending 80 hours a week for 6 years? You were only in the booth for 4 hours, Nolan North and Troy Baker. Which
they were
a lot of people
4 hours per game, and they're considering they're in every single video game out there. I'm of the opinion that the bonuses are probably never going to happen, which kind of sucks, because that's going to impact negotiations in the future when they're going with negotiating with television and movie studios. And the reason that's not going to happen is because if the games industry, if they give the voice actors bonuses, the game developers, the programmers, and the artists are going to be like, "Hey, where's our bonuses?" And that's going to cause a gigantic stink, and something's going to have to happen. But of course, the publishers will probably just ride that out anyways for like 10 years, and then at that point, nobody's going to care again. Just like they do with the quality of life issues. Crunch has been a big issue for.
We will
decades.
Organize a committee to look into this.
Yeah,
we totally did. Is anyone paying attention? Okay, well, whatever. That happens a lot. So we'll look into it. Oh, good, they're doing something, and then everyone forgets about it. So,
I think the fines are probably going to go away. The stunt pay and the ability to know what you're going to audition for, that's going to be there. There's no way they can get out of that.
I want to fine your agent for not sending you to an audition sounds like one of those things that they put in there just to have something to go, okay, we'll take that one out. See how much we're willing to compromise it. It sounds like one of those. There's a name for that.
It does. Yeah. But there's a lot of things that can be negotiated out. Trying to think, other than the bonuses, I think every single one of the actors' options are actually really good and will probably make it. I don't see any reason for them not to show up. It's the bonuses are the sticking point.
I think so, yeah. So, but I want the video game industry to. I don't want the actors to get any more money, because if they do, then they're just going to want. Then the developers are going to want more money, and then video games are going to cost more, and that's going to cost me more money.
Video games won't cost more money. They'll just have to trim the marketing budget down by a couple of million.
Or they'll just cut out even more content to sell you later.
Yeah.
All right. So let us move on. And this weekend, I thought it would be fun to go over some of the stories that we wanted to write for the site, but didn't have time to. So the first one is about Ubisoft's Might and Magic Heroes Part 7. So it came out that there was a... It was on Imager. I forget who did this, but They noticed that the Heroes Might and Magic Heroes 7 Collector's Edition.
Okay, is it Might and Magic Heroes or Heroes of Might and Magic? Because
it's Heroes of Might and Magic. I'm sorry.
yeah,
Yes, Heroes of Might and Magic.
Destructoid has it as Might and Magic Heroes, while the Link to Imager has it Heroes of Might and Magic.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't remember a Might and Magic Hero series.
Well,
I know
that's true, but the problem is the logo is Heroes 7 Might and Magic on the, so it reads Might and Magic Heroes 7, but it is Heroes of Might and Magic 7, or rather Heroes 7 Might. I don't know what this game. Big collector's edition comes with an art book and and a statue and playing cards and all kinds of crap. But it was also supposed to come with a DVD, a PC DVD, an actual physical DVD disc. Yes. Ubisoft on Twitch did an unboxing, and it had the physical DVD in it. You look at one of the sales pages, and the standard edition lists it as a PC download, while the collector's edition lists it as PC. So apparently this is just North America. When users got it in North America, there was no DVD inside. So they started complaining, and Ubisoft said, oh, well, you're going to have to download it. And apparently they were supposed to contact Ubisoft to activate their PC download, which is not what it said in any of the advertising or the official unboxing or any of that crap. Ubisoft finally actually refunded people who were upset by this and issued an apology, and this is a wonderful apology. Here's what it says. Ubisoft regrets any confusion created by the marketing materials from our Might and Magic Heroes 7 Collector's Edition. Okay, well, maybe it is Might and Magic Heroes 7, because that's the way they worded it in the press release. Now I don't know. Anyway, Ubisoft regrets...
I'm totally confused.
Yes, Ubisoft regrets any confusion created by the marketing materials for the game. We understand that some customers in North America were not aware the Collector's Edition delivered digital versions of the game and soundtrack. Ubisoft apologizes for any frustration and disappointment resulting from these items being in digital format versus physical format. Ubisoft... own up to it. God, that is so irritating when they do that. Oh, we're sorry if you were confused. We told you what we said. We're sorry our non-truth. We're sorry you believed what we said.
Yeah.
We're sorry you believed the advertising that the marketing materials that we put out. We're sorry about that. I hate just own up to it. Oops, we made a boo-boo. We had to take that out. Sorry.
And what really bugs me in this is that you don't even get a code to download the game. You have to actually issue a support ticket with Ubisoft in order to get the game added to your Uplay account. Yeah. It's not like, oh, key in this 16-digit code to add it to your account. It's no, you have to email them, wait for them to email you back to confirm whatever they need to confirm, and then they will add it to your account at some time in the future. That is the stupidest thing in the entire world.
And looking at pictures of the collector's edition box, there's this empty space where the DVD is supposed to go.
Yeah, it's like a place big enough to fit a pretty fat DVD case in there. One of the ones that are double thickness, so they can fit extra discs and whatever in there. Because apparently there's, looking at some of these images, there's a something open. It has like 3 discs in it, and then something else, and it's just like, what? But I don't get this, because apparently the Europeans got the physical discs, but Americans didn't. Does Ubisoft just hate the US or something?
Yes.
Yes.
Pull that crap enough, and Aisha Tyler's not going to host your E3 conference anymore.
Yeah.
Neener.
Yeah, and this is the kind of crap that just reminds me of why I have boycotted Ubisoft for so long. And to be honest, I don't. Yeah, I haven't bought an Ubisoft game in forever.
Well,
Even though
I
I
mean,
still want to buy Heroes of Might and Magic 3 and 4 off of GOG. But I haven't gotten around to doing that yet. I never have money when the Heroes game or the Might and Magic games are on sale.
Laxter says, freedom fries? That's fine, America. No DVDs for you. um, yeah, it's okay to boycott Ubisoft. I mean, it's not like Beyond Good and Evil 2 ever came out.
Yeah.
Perm asks, I can't imagine legal would let them admit to messing up advertising. Couldn't they get sued for false advertising? Well, yeah, anyone could sue them for anything, but if they admit they made a mistake or issue a correction or refund them, I don't know how far that suit would. Well, I mean, there can always be a class action suit, but I don't know how far they'd get with that. I mean, I think false advertising has to be willful. I have no idea. It's I don't know. I don't want to sue. I just want my damn game on a disc. That's all I want.
Yeah, that would be nice. But of course, I wonder if you still have to play with the disc and the drive, even though you're connected to Uplay the entire time you play. Uplay the entire time you play. That's funny. No.
I get it now.
But no, but yeah, I just wonder. I wonder if if it has that double DRM thing going on, because that would be incredibly annoying if you have to be online, connected to their servers, and have the disc in your drive. I would probably scream and rage and never play the game ever again if it actually required that.
We have a few people in the chat saying, "Oh, last Ubisoft game I bought was Assassin's Creed Black Flag, Stick of Truth," which, oh yeah, the Ubisoft did pick that up from THQ. Last one I got, I think, was Rayman Legends, which is great.
Yeah. I bought Beyond Good and Evil used, so that doesn't really count because they didn't get my money off of that one.
Vixen says got Rayman Origins for free. Does that count as my last Ubisoft game? Your last game you received, maybe not the last one you purchased, but sure.
Yeah.
Ubisoft does make good games. They really do, but sometimes, well, when they work, Assassin's Creed Unity. And I'm just not really a fan of Assassin's Creed, but I do. The Rabbids are cute, and Beyond Good and Evil is great, and Zombie U is great, and the Rayman Origins and Legends is great. So and Splinter Cell's mostly pretty good if you like those games like that. What was the newest one? Conviction, Condemned, something. One where you knife everybody in the throat. That one was just kind of weird. It's okay, but anyway, the Far Cry games, yeah, Far Cry Primal, and okay, I think it was Perm who said a big Perm who said I not really digging the idea so far because I want to drop grenades on someone while flying on a hang glider and shoot the bazooka. But maybe you can make prehistoric bombs out of something that explodes and throw them and ride a pterodactyl and throw it at. I don't think there's any dinosaurs in the game, but I think it's just a woolly mammoth and saber-toothed tiger and things like that. But it will be interesting to see how they make this game big explosion-y fun with sticks and rocks. Or maybe it's just going to be really, really different. So, all right, moving on. Let's see. Pre-orders. Stop pre-ordering, cries everyone on the internet, and for good reason. Unfortunately, studies show that pre-orders are up 24% over last year, and revenue from pre-orders is up 33%. So, yeah, I don't think anyone's going to stop doing pre-orders anytime soon because well, enough people buy them, and I'm not sure why. Is it? I can't imagine anyone's like, oh man, I got a pre-order, or that game's not going to be at Walmart or GameStop on day one. Uh, I have to
Well,
imagine it's
it
the
might, if you're buying your games from GameStop, it might not be there if you didn't pre-order,
yeah.
because that seems to be a horror story that I read quite often. Is that people will say, "Oh, this is a big popular game. They're gonna buy like 50 extra copies on top of the pre-order, so I'll just show up on launch day and buy it." And then they get there and find out, "Oh, all we have are pre-order copies."
That's true. But I
Yeah.
tell you what, go over to Walmart for crying
Yeah,
out loud.
go
Don't
over to
shop at
Walmart.
And I,
GameStop's usually right next to a Walmart, so
yeah, actually, it is. I mean, yeah, I know people who work at GameStop, and hey,
yeah.
I won't shop there because you keep gutting the games. I hate that. Maybe they've stopped doing that, but
I think with the pre-orders, I think the exclusive content is probably what's keeping the pre-orders coming. You get exclusive characters or exclusive levels or exclusive whatevers, and I think that's what's doing it, because I don't think we had this much pre-orders going on when we were getting like little figurines. I got from Doom 3, I've got a little, I forget what demon it is, but it's like this big and it's made out of pewter.
well, right,
And
because those are extra special little things that you can put on a keychain or put on your shelf or something. What they're doing now is pre-order now, and you can play the whole game that you're going to pay for, that you're going to pay full price for anyway.
yeah, it's like pre-order now and you'll get the character that everybody wants, but only people who pre-order actually get it. And it's like, that ticked me off with
And it gets even
Soul
worse
Calibur 5. They did that. The one character I wanted to play was a pre-order bonus, and you had to pre-order it at Best Buy. I think you couldn't get it and pre-order it when you pre-order it.
Yeah, and then we get
GameStop.
into pre-order exclusives where you can't get everything unless you buy the game multiple times. And I imagine,
Yeah, it's like
what?
you store exclusive pre-orders. It's that doesn't make any sense. It's like, do you really expect people to buy the game at 3 different retailers just so they can get all of the content? Of course, they are going to release the stuff as a paid download, 3 months later, 6
Yeah,
months
well,
later, but still,
yeah,
it's
Matthew says
stupid.
this is going to crash in a few years and can't wait till it does. And I wouldn't be totally surprised because online passes was the big thing for a while, and they stopped doing that, thank goodness. So,
Doesn't somebody still do that?
not that I know of, but
Well, I was reading something
I know
about
they
an
do the
online
season
pass.
pass stuff, and season
Oh yeah, the
passes are
season
getting to be
pass.
as expensive as the game.
Yeah, it was what, Battlefront, was that what it was?
Something has something.
Yeah,
There's some
EA
$60
did
game that
something.
is
It
a
was like a
$50 season
$50
pass.
season pass, and I'm like, yeah, I saw that, and I was like, man, I hope that is a full game's worth of content there, because that's the only way that's going to be worth $50.
Probably multiplayer skins and crap.
Yeah, exactly. I remember the times, back in the day when you used to go to the store and buy an expansion pack for a game, and it was a full game's worth of content. You go and buy Warcraft 2, and then a year or two later you go and buy the Warcraft 2 Dark Tides expansion pack, and it was a full campaign for both
Yeah.
the orcs and the humans. I don't know if they did expansion packs for Warcraft 3 or not. I can't remember, but they did an expansion pack for StarCraft 2 that had Brood Wars in it. Full campaign for all three races, and totally awesome. Those were the
I'm,
days.
I'm amazed that anyone actually buys this, that like the Star Wars one or the Arkham Knight one, or even the Tomb Raider one, because for the most part, you have no idea what you're getting. And as we've seen with some games, they just kind of stop after a while because they never really totally specify what's in the season pass, so they're not beholden to anything. They're just, oh, that was
Yeah.
what season pass does for me. It says buy the game next year when we release the Game of the Year edition for $40. That
Yeah.
includes the full game and all the season pass stuff. So
Yeah.
all season pass is
Protoman
doing
Dan
is
points out
yeah,
that Witcher 3 had an expansion pack that came out. And
it's
but
also
yeah,
not $50.
yeah. But the thing with the season pass is all they have to do is make sure that they release enough DLC that's individually priced at more than $50, and they can say, "Yep, you got your money's worth."
Yeah. But also the Witcher 3 thing, we knew it was coming, and I don't think it's part of a season pass. I think it's here's the new expansion, buy it if you want it.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So actually,
surprisingly, and I've mentioned this,
let's see what that is, how much that is.
surprisingly, and I've mentioned this before, Nintendo's doing the season pass stuff better than anyone else with Hyrule Warriors, and they never called it season pass, but they did that stuff great with Hyrule Warriors and Mario Kart 8. The passes were $20, and they told you what you were getting. Maybe not specific for Mario Kart 8, for example. They told you there are going to be 2 packs. Each pack is going to have 4 new courses or 8 new courses, 4 new carts, and 4 new characters. And they told you a couple of what they were, but you knew exactly what you're getting. We're going to end up with 16 new courses, 8 new characters, and 8 new carts for $20. Okay, sure. So,
okay,
Star Wars, no idea.
Okay, with The Witcher 3, okay, I'm looking at this. You got Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, which is $60. Then you have Hearts of Stone, which is, I believe, the first expansion, and that's $10. Hearts of Stones is the first official expansion pack. Okay, and then you have the expansion pass, which the description is the expansion pass secures your access to 2 epic adventures set in a vibrant world. You get Hearts of Stone and then Blood and Wine, which Blood and Wine isn't out yet. So I assume Blood and Wine is going to be $20, to make the $25 for the expansion pass worth it. So that's that's not bad because you know exactly what you're getting and how much it's going to cost. So there, yeah, I don't know. That's not bad.
Yeah. I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, and also the Witcher 3 expansions, from what I hear, take 12 to 15 hours to play through. They're huge chunks of content.
Well, they Blood and Wine, it says, is going to be, or Hearts of Stone is 10 hours and Blood and Wine is 20 hours. So
yeah, so you compare that to the additional missions in Arkham Knight. From what I hear, they're like 15 minutes long. It's like, oh yay! And I think the season pass for that one was $30 or something. So yeah. Stop allowing publishers to rip you off.
Definitely. Stop pre-ordering and stop buying season passes unless the season pass tells you exactly what you're going to get with it. Don't buy it. Don't buy things blind, people.
Now, what do you think of things like Loot Crate?
Loot Crate would actually be kind of interesting.
You know kind of what you're getting too. It's like we're sending you a box. It's full of random crap. It's like, okay, I know what it's not like.
It's like at the back of when growing up, we used to get these catalogs just full of like joke items and stuff. A towel that has it's 2 colors, and on one it has in big bold letters face, and on the other end it says butt. So you can always dry with the right end of the towel. Right. Joke items like that, and then they would always have the pay us $15 and we'll send you a box of random crap. Yeah, and we did that, and we got some interesting stuff.
Because there's nothing worse than trying between doing the seesaw thing with the towel and then rubbing your face and going, "What have I done? What have I done? I need to get back in the shower now."
Yeah, but Loot Crate is actually kind of interesting. I've seen some unboxings of that, and you can get some interesting stuff. There was a Lego themed one that I've seen, like Block Crate or something, and
now Humble Bundle is getting in on the Loot Crate type of service now.
Yeah, you pay $12 a month, and you get a random assortment of indie games each month, which is actually kind of a neat idea.
Yeah, their first one will be out early November, I think. I'm really curious to see how that shakes out. Yeah, because I'm the kind of guy, I'm like, I don't know what's in it, and you guys haven't done any yet, so I'm like, are we expecting 1 game, 8 games? I don't know.
Yeah,
$12 a month. It better
be at least
quite a few.
$15 worth of games, you know. But with that one though, I don't think I will get involved with that because there's no guarantee that any of the games will have Linux support. So that's kind of my thing is that, if a game doesn't have Linux support, it gets dropped down considerably on my list of what I'm going to buy.
Yeah. Protoman Dan says the Nintendo Store in the UK actually has a Mario box that's something similar. I was actually just going to say if Nintendo wants to print money, it should do a Loot Crate type of thing. Every month you get a box full of look, here's a Mario plushie and a Peach slide rule and an amiibo.
Well, even if they want to do a like PlayStation Plus membership where you pay whatever the PlayStation Plus is and you get a random assortment of games every month.
I got a Bayonetta-thong.
Nintendo needs to do that. Just say $10 a month.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. But $10 a month, and we'll give you like 5 VC games every month.
There you go.
Or something. That would be awesome. And maybe like 1 or 2 WiiWare games. And if you wanted to do a separate one, they could do it for the 3DS as well. So,
but Protoman Dan says a shirt, Mario hat, an 8-bit amiibo, and a plushie. See, that sounds great for 30 squiggly things.
Yeah. I still want one of those plushy Yoshi amiibos. Those things.
The yarn Yoshi, Yoshi's Woolly World Yoshi. Yeah.
Yep.
All right, let us move on to the final topic. It had been a while since we bashed Ubisoft, and I think it's been a while since we bashed Electronic Arts. So let's do that. Although maybe we won't exactly bash them. So IGN interviewed Electronic Arts' Peter Moore, who talked about HD remakes, which is something we've seen a lot of in the last years, even from Nintendo with Wind Waker HD and to a lesser extent the remakes of the Zelda games on the 3DS, the Majora's Mask and Ocarina of Time. And there's rumors that Twilight Princess is going to get an HD remake too. So here's what Moore said. Remakes, because of who we are and this broad portfolio of intellectual property. You add it all together, I don't know where we find the time to do remakes. We're a company that just likes to push forward. For a lot of companies, remakes are a way to drive revenue. It's sub-cost. It's an IP that's there. You can remaster, and that's great. We don't do that here. I don't think that's ever been in our culture. In the old days, backwards compatibility was to convince your mom to buy the new console. Not that you were ever going to use it. Once you got it, those things went in the drawer or on eBay. I don't know about any other gamer, but I used backwards compatibility like today.
Yeah, I still play GameCube games, and I play them on my Wii. I still play PlayStation 1 games, and I play them on my PS3.
Yeah,
because I can't play my PS2 games on the PS3.
Right. Well, I played exactly. Yeah, I played. I gave my GameCube to my sister because I got the Wii, which plays GameCube games. So, I didn't get rid of my Wii. I could. It's like, why didn't you do the Wii transfer to the Wii U thing? Well, because there's only 32 gig hard drive in the damn thing. I want to play. I was going to say Harvest Moon, Fatal Frame, which comes out next week, but I have no space for the demo, let alone the full game, and it's a download only. It's 16 gigs.
Oh wow.
It's well, I'll cut it some slack for being huge, but I'd have to do the Perrin Kaplan clean out the fridge thing or buy an external hard drive.
Yeah.
Neither I really want to do.
Yeah. Yeah, so I've got my PlayStation 2, my PS3, my Wii, and I've got a 360 in the other room, but unfortunately backwards compatibility on that one is crap because you have to download a patch and there's not a patch for every game. But yeah, but yeah, this is actually. But going back to the remake thing, how much of this do you think is the fact that EA doesn't have any games worth remaking?
Well, I mean, it has taken properties and done new iterations of them, like on mobile, like Dungeon Keeper. I mean, that's not an HD remake, and it is a brand new game. They have done collections like the Mass Effect trilogy.
But that really wasn't an HD.
No,
remake.
it's not.
No,
not at all. It's just packaging
games.
all 3 games
Yeah.
for everything Wii U. So I can't think of. Although you could look at, from what I hear, the new Mirror's Edge is kind of let's try that again. But and even though it's, well, actually did have a subtitle. Don't remember.
I don't know.
Seemed to me at E3 it had some type of subtitle. But me personally, I'm not really into HD remasters. For example, I don't have Wind Waker HD because I have Wind Waker SD, and I played it and I loved it. For me personally, and they're great for introducing a game to a new generation of gamers, although one generation removed is kind of odd. But
on that front, Extra Credits actually did a video about that, about the HD remake, and the reason they're doing HD remakes of last generation's games is because it's a lot easier to do that than an HD remake of like 2 generations ago. That's why Square Enix has done an HD remake of Final Fantasy X, but not 7 yet, because it was a lot easier to just upscale Final Fantasy X onto the PS3 than it was to take Final Fantasy 7 and
7 you have to completely redo.
Yeah, 7, they talked about that. With 7, they have to recode everything and reanimate everything. They have to make all new models, all new textures, everything has to be done new. It's basically they're doing a brand new game. But with Final Fantasy X, they could keep a lot of the code and a lot of the assets and just upscale it. So it was a lot easier to do that. But yeah, but it does still take time, and that's time away from other games, new games that you're wanting to get out, which is what EA's saying here. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I just can't think of any games from EA that I really care about. I think the only HD remasters that I'm really interested in playing are the Kingdom Hearts ones, because they've got the Kingdom Hearts 1.5 and 2.5 for the PS3, which have all of the DS and mobile games done up in the new engine.
But that's Square Enix.
Yeah, that's Square Enix.
Yeah.
But speaking of Kingdom Hearts, and they've got the 2.8 or something like that, which has some games that I'm like, what is this about? Why did they even have this one in here?
Funny but dumb story. Well, if you can, it's going to be one or the other. Take your pick. When I wrote the recap of the Sony's Tokyo Game Show press conference for Game Politics, I couldn't figure out what the hell the name of that game is because the logo makes it look like 2.8, not 2.8. There's a 2 here and an 8 here. The dot is right in the center. I had to go into a character map and actually find a center dot, and then use the alt code to put it into my copy. And then I found out later that it's actually 2.8. Like, well, why is the decimal place to Square Enix? So. Yeah, but EA games that I want an HD remaster of, Boogie. Yeah. No.
There we go.
Dead Space? I don't know. Someone mentioned that earlier in here. Sick
Yeah.
of Dead Space. Okay, maybe not. Well, Dead Space once EA got its EA-ish mitts on it and made Dead Space 3 sucks. It's just
You know what game EA needs to do an HD remake of? Madden 2002.
there you go. Start yeah.
Yeah.
Why don't sports games ever get HD remakes? Yeah. NBA 2K06 HD remake. It was just a good year. What?
Yeah.
Uh,
I'm kidding everybody. Every sports game is an HD remake of the year before. So
Laxter points out Freedom Fighters. You know, that's. I'd actually just. I'd like another Freedom Fighters game. If you made Freedom Fighters HD, I wouldn't get it because I have Freedom Fighters and I love it. If you made Freedom Fighters 2, which they kind of did with Homefront something, which sucked, and then the sequel was better.
yeah.
I can't remember what the name of the game is, but yeah, Freedom Fighters is a great game, and I did play that on the extra live stream last year. Um,
I think Freedom Fighters has been a game that's been on my must-try list. I've never gotten around to it though.
you know, some of the old
Battlefields,
like
I don't
1942 or some of the really old ones
yeah,
are they're just
some of the actual World War II and World War One games, those would actually be fun to have back again because I'm getting kind of tired of the modern shooters and the future shooters.
yeah.
You know, bring back World War II.
Vixen says I only play the only reason I play remakes or remasters is if they offer something new gameplay wise. So I'm exactly the same way. It's to me it's prettier, and they may make a few tweaks here and there, but it's the same game, and I already played it. If there's enough new content, I will actually pick it up.
Yeah, I think for me, if I haven't played the game before, I'll probably pick up the HD remake. For most of them, like Shadow of Colossus and Eco, I'd probably go with the PS2 versions because I've heard the PS3 versions are kind of crappy. The way they did it. But like Devil May Cry, I'll pick up the Devil May Cry trilogy on PS3. I won't bother going back and trying to find those on the PS2.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of other games. Classic games like the Sega Classic Collection. I'll get that rather than trying to hunt for cartridges. The Rare Replay thing, same thing. I'd rather get the Rare Replay than trying to hunt down all the cartridges. But Wind Waker, I've got that. I'm not going to bother with the HD.
Animal Crossing HD.
There we go. Yes. But yeah, I can't think of too many other games that I'd get a remaster or an HD remake.
Well, for me, I'm all about the Yakuza HD remake that they're doing for the first game, but that's because I haven't played the first Yakuza. So, also from what I understand, it's actually a remake, not just a remaster.
Yeah.
So.
But speaking of bad HD remakes, Square is really screwing up their Super Nintendo games.
Oh, I thought you were going to bash on Konami because they had really bad HD remakes.
Oh, well, Konami too, but Square they did an HD remaster of Final Fantasy V, and they just really crapped all over it. The sprites look terrible. They don't blend in with their environment. The textures, for the landscape and all that, those things are like terribly upscale. It's like it looks like they sent them through an upscaler but didn't clean up the images, and so it's like you can see all the individual squares that make up the sprites. And it's like I've seen some side-by-side pictures where it's like, the original Super Nintendo one, you could see a lot of detail and stuff. And then, in this rock face, okay, it's just a rock face. That's all it is. And there's a lot of detail in it. The edges are rough and everything. And then you look at the HD remake of this, and it's just like this big blob of squared textures, and it's like there's no. It looks like somebody just said, "Screw this," and just hated the time doing it, and
Yeah.
terrible. And they did the same thing with their. Well, not as bad, but they did a pretty bad job doing the HD remake of Final Fantasy VI, which makes me happy that I've got the Final Fantasy Anthology and Final Fantasy Chronicles for the PlayStation 1, because those are basically the Super Nintendo games run through an emulator on the PlayStation 1. So really nice. I like that. They look great. There's some save bugs in them, which really frustrate the crap out of me. But overall, good experiences playing those.
Yeah. Okay, well, I think that is enough out of us for one evening.
Yes.
I'm on call anyway. Luckily, the phone hasn't rung, although it did
Awesome.
ring a few times during the stream this afternoon. So, okay, let us plug our stuff and scoot daddle. Toad and the Mole. Hello, Toad and the Mole. That's a new username. I haven't seen that one.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
do
haven't
we
seen
have
you
someone
around.
who said 16 minutes ago on YouTube, Loot Crate is basically gambling, but always winning. I like that.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay. So Andrew Eisen here. Eisen is the last name. Plug it into YouTube and you find my silly YouTube videos. At Andrew Eisen is Twitter, and Andrew Eisen YouTube is the name of the Facebook page. Currently, I'm getting prepped for my hair is growing again. Goodness. I'm getting prepped for the Extra Life charity marathon on Saturday, November 7th. I'll be playing video games from noon on Saturday, November 7th, all the way till noon the next day to raise money for the Children's Miracle Network hospitals. My Children's Miracle Network hospital is the Rady Children's Hospital here in San Diego. So if you want to make a pledge to that end, just go to extralife.org, extra-life.org, type in Andrew Eisen in the search. You'll find my name, make a pledge, tax deductible. All monies go to helping hospitalized kids. And yeah, that's it. I'll also be streaming games every Saturday until then at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You can find that on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Andrew Eisen, and it'll be on the front page of Game Politics when that happens too. I streamed Read Only Memories last week and Bully this week. Hopefully I'll have no technical problems and actually start on time next week. In addition to that, Monday, the 19th? Yeah, the 19th, October 19th, Monday starts my new series on YouTube, 13 Days of Horror, in which I watch a new horror movie every single day and make a video talking about it. It's similar to the 30 Days of Netflix thing I did earlier in the year. So that will run from the 19th all the way to Halloween. So look forward to that. Zachary, plug away.
All right, you can follow me on Twitter at EZKnight, and you can also follow my game development work at DK_gaming on Twitter. It's divineknightgaming.com. You can all follow the game development scene in Oklahoma at OKGameDevs on Twitter and OKGameDev.com. And if you're interested in some not so serious stuff about the games industry, check out RustyOutlook.com and Rusty Outlook on Twitter. Unfortunately, I haven't written anything in the last couple weeks because I've been super busy at work and haven't had time. But hopefully I'll be able to pick back up again here this week because things are slowing down finally. But yeah, there you go.
I know all three of us are like, okay, we need to use every available bit of free time to work on Game Politics. And then all of us are like, oh, God, we're horrifically busy at work now. What happened? This is supposed to be the quiet time of year, too. Yep. So, okay, and again, folks, thanks for sticking with us, the podcast and Game Politics during these trying times. Running a website without money is not easy. Running a website without money while all of the staff is working other full-time jobs, really damn difficult. So thank you for your patience and sticking with us, and hopefully we'll be back up on our feet and giving you lots of cool content. So here's hoping. All right. So that's it for us. Super Podcast Action Committee, episode 163 is in the bag. We'll be back next week. In the meantime, where is it? Okay, send us email at superpackpodcast@gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter at superpackpodcast, and like us on Facebook. Tried to get the iTunes and RSS thing up for the show. Got a weird error, so we're working with the site that hosts our show to figure out what the hell that thing is all about. So again, something we're trying to find spare time to work on, but it is coming someday. That's it for us. Thank you much, and good night.
All right, see ya.